I would love to start off by asking you to share a bit of your story with us so that students can get to know you.
Good morning, everyone. My story starts in a very interesting way. So the origin story will be my parents moved to the United States many years ago to go to school, to go to college, and through that I was born. So I was born in Oakland, California, and luckily for me, I got to benefit from that initial experience. But when I was a few months old, about 5 months old, my parents graduated from college and decided to move back to Nigeria. So I benefited again by going through K to 12 in Nigeria and graduating from high school in Nigeria. So my initial experiences for school and childhood was all rooted in Nigeria, which is the home of my parents and my family. After high school, I moved back to the United States to pursue higher education and opportunity and started my educational career or academic career at Miami-Dade College, where I transferred to FIU to pursue a bachelor's degree in accounting, focus on finance. And also, I participated in a lot of athletic activities, specifically sports and basketball. I know it may not look like it through the Zoom, but I'm 6'7". So if you ever see me in person, you would know that. And so I went on to start a career in finance and accounting. After a good start to my career, I went back to school to Nova Southeastern University here in South Florida to pursue my master's degree, also in accounting with some finance concentration, which led me to upon graduation, sit for my CPA license. The CPA is a certified public accountant. It is one of the highest respected licenses for financial or accounting professional. And so through a lot of learning and difficulty, I was able to pass my CPA exam, and I was licensed in the state of Florida as a CPA. And that is the origin story. And I don't want to skip that through those journeys, I continued my athletic participation. I like sports and I like finance. So it was just a given that I would end up in one of those two buckets later down in life.
Thank you so much, Yinka. So, my next question to you is what really inspired you to pursue a career in your field? And what is your current role in the organization for which you work?
What inspired me is, first of all, to have a fulfilling career. I think that was one of the initial innate drivers of that decision. Is I wanted to have a fulfilling career, and I looked into my skill bucket to see what I have in there. I think Junior Achievement has a skill inventory. So I looked into my skill inventory and see what I had, and it was very easy for me to get close to finance and accounting. And there's a lot of family history in finance and accounting also. Uh, that was my key driver, something that I would like, something that I could make an impact, and something that could definitely generate income, right? And so pursuing my career was almost a no-brainer, and I enjoyed it so far. And the second part of the question was, what do I enjoy
Your
most?
current role in the organization in which you work.
Yes, my current role. Okay, my current role is very multifaceted because I was appointed, like you said, in 2019. So I work for the Board of County Commissioners, and I'm going to assume everybody here, or most people, live in Miami-Dade County. So just to take a quick step back, Miami-Dade County is about 2.8 million people. So most of you are part of that 2.8 million people, right? And we're spread across the Miami-Dade County landscape. The landscape is divided into 13 districts. So 2.8 million people are divided into 13 districts. The 13 districts have a representative, which is called the county commission, the commissioner, who's elected by the people in that district. So the 2.8 million people elect the leadership, 13 districts for 13 commissioners. I work for the 13 commissioners. Now, what do 13 commissioners do? They're responsible for legislation and policy in the county. So whenever you see anything related to transportation, seaport, airport, water and sewer, solid waste, picking up your trash, even construction and roads. The county commission are the ones who make the decisions, they make the laws, and they allocate the funding for it. My role is to be of use as far as financial guidance and policy guidance. So whenever there's a need for analysis, whenever there's a need for policy making from a analytical perspective, I'm always one of the tools in the toolkit that's used to help the commission make better decisions. And I do that by doing a very deep dive analysis in financials of the county, make sure there's enough resources, make sure resources are being spent appropriately, and making sure that the impact of the legislation is being fulfilled. That is my day-to-day. That's what my job looks like on paper. It includes a lot of other things, but those are the key ones.
I love that, Yinka. Thank you so much for sharing. So I guess that builds upon a typical week in your role and what that would look like. Maybe walk us through a few things that you had going on this week in your role at the county.
So today's Friday. So this is a perfect perfect analogies. The week always starts up very similar. It starts up when mostly work in office. So when I get to the office, we have weekly planning meetings with my team. I have about 25 people, 25 to 28 people. So we start with a plan. We look at all the analysis and all the projects that we have to do and all the reports that we have to do. And we create a strategy around how to deliver them to the commissioner. What's the best source of information? How can we explain it better? How people understand the information? And what financial analysis can we include? We go through the process. And in this session, I saw my Mondays, there are no titles. Even though I'm the head of the office, everybody has an opinion, everybody has an input to give us some feedback as to the best way to complete this task. And so after that meeting, we make a decision, I make a decision, and we start the week with delivering our reports and creating our reports and analysis. Now, that's on Monday, but it's very, very possible, which happens every now and then, that on Tuesday, something happens. Either something happens in Miami-Dade County, something important came up, an emergency, an urgent decision has to be made, that I may get a call or a request from the commission. And when that happens, the first thing we have to do is reprioritize what we planned on Monday. So the beauty about that is it helps us react and help us modify our plan. So we go back to the drawing board and we revisit what should we prioritize. And we prioritize whatever we feel is the most urgent. We create a plan around it and we start delivering the products. And throughout the week, we have several meetings to discuss what we found, our observations, our communication strategy on the reports. And so throughout the week, this is all going on with different groups, different expertise. I have financial people, I have auditors, and I have researchers. And so we're having lots of conversation, a lot of interesting conversations, cutting edge technology conversations, policy, society issues in Miami-Dade County, citizens issue in Miami-Dade County. We have a lot of conversations that we learn a lot about the county and the people in the county so we can make the best decision for them.
That's awesome. And so it sounds like as well, you're meeting with the county commissioners one-on-one to assess their needs, right? There's a
Yes.
lot of balancing to do here. What is the county budget? Just for the people who are curious.
The county budget as it sits today is about $11 billion.
Wow. That's a lot
That's a
to
lot of
manage.
money.
That's a lot to manage. So thank you. So the next question I have for you is, what are the most rewarding aspects of your job and what are some of the most challenging aspects of your job?
The most rewarding aspect is the impact that you have in the community. The impact that I have in the community is probably the most rewarding. I always say when people work for our office, they have a different views, almost like, wearing a X-ray shades and you could see everything in the world differently because all our work, all our projects, all the legislation that we help create, we see the impact as we walk around society. If it's a building that we help to do the financial analysis on, just looking at building get constructed. Let's if it's a policy or during the pandemic on supporting the community and feeding people, we could see it. We could see the numbers, and then a few months later, we could see the results. I think that is the most fulfilling part of the job, is that you see the results of your work and you have an impact, a direct impact to the community that you live in, which is incredible to have as a career. And,
Great, thank
and
you.
you asked of the, you said
Challenging? Oh,
the
sorry.
challenging,
Yep,
well, the
challenging.
challenging part, um, there's never enough time to solve all problems. So everyone has to find ways to prioritize and figure out the most pressing issues. Um, that's the most challenging part because you want to solve all the problems at once, but you have to be patient. You have to understand strategy. You have to know that there's more things that are important today that may not be important tomorrow, and you have to analyze how you move around those. So the most challenging is always the burning urge to solve all the problems that you can't solve in one go.
So definitely I hear solving problems, but also solving problems creatively, right? And having
Yes.
to get creative with your problem solving. I know some of the students that we work with are actually taking a course through JA called Creative Problem Solving. It's part of our Be Entrepreneurial curriculum. So that's great to hear from you and how much there is a need for that, right? That's a
Yes.
21st century skill. So my next question to you is, are there any specific skills or qualities that are essential for your for success in your field?
Success in my field definitely requires critical thinking, a lot of it. Some may think it's more mathematics, but I tell you it's more critical thinking because even if you have the tools and the education, you have to know how and when to apply it and to what problems you apply them to. So the most important piece, for me at least, is critical thinking. And also, like I said earlier, patience. I think those are the two things that I could see I use every day. Like when the problems come in front of my doorsteps, I have to think critically. I have to be very patient on how I analyze it. I can't rush to judgment. I can't think personally about every single thing. I have to be very objective. So being objective is another important toolkit that you use in this role every day.
Also flexible. You have to be
Flexible,
flexible
absolutely.
because you're meeting the demands of so many, right?
Things
And
change and people change. Yes, you have to be
and
extremely
also
flexible.
just for the students to hear, where's your office?
My office is downtown, the Stephen P. Clark Center, downtown Miami. You can't miss it. I believe if you take public transportation, you see the rail and Metro Mover go through it. So it's a good stop. It's a good stop to pass by to know your city, your county government. In this case, you know your city, but you know your county government more if you pass by the office. That's where every major office of the county is. The mayor's office is there. The county commission's office is there, and my office is also there.
In the chambers.
And the chambers, yes, where they have all the public meetings. So if you ever want to attend a public meeting, you could come down, you sign up, and they'll let you come to the chambers, and you can actually speak to your commission. That's the most, understated things that I observe. People actually have the opportunity to come downtown and register to speak whenever there's a meeting to talk to their commissioners and express their opinion on proposed legislation, which is an incredible feature of our government, where you could always come downtown and speak on things and let your elected body, one of the 13, let them know your perspective or what your needs are
So
as it relates to legislation.
a follow-up assignment for all the students should be, in addition to the reflection questions that we have, to find out who their county commissioner actually is,
I agree.
because they may not know,
I
right?
agree.
Look that up and know them. And also, just for all the students who are listening, there's a great opportunity for students to serve on the Youth County Commission, and you can apply to be to work with the county commissioners. Each county commissioner has a youth county commissioner. So it's a great opportunity that I believe the applications are open at this time. But thank you, Yinka, for sharing that with us.
You're
Next
welcome.
question I have for you is, we would really love for you to share any memorable career experiences that have had a significant impact on you.
Well, I've had many, that's for sure. I've had many, but I'll pick something that's definitely more recent, and it was um, a memorable experience simply because I saw how government and people came together, and that was during the 2020 pandemic. when we were faced with something that nobody had any experience in, right? And we had what could be considered an insurmountable hurdle. And during that period, I noticed a very impressive union being formed between the county commission and the executive office, which is the mayor's office, and the citizens to help each other. That experience changed me because it gave me a very great sense of hope that when faced with big hurdles and people come together, we solve the problems quicker. And so that for me was very, very career changing. It gave me a lot of confidence that with people being participants in the government, that will solve a lot more problems.
Hey, thank you so much. And the question I have now is to please share with us any passion projects that you have.
I have a lot of passion projects, but my main passion projects still centers around I want to continue to be the conduit of financial literacy in my community. And so my passion project is to create a tool and an avenue for people to have access to financial information and financial literacy education, because I believe those are the barriers that we should break to create an even society and a well-fed society, not fed as in food, but fed as in information. And so my passion project will continue to work on all mechanisms, whether through my personal time and giving my personal time to that initiative, doing a lot more writing on that initiative, and just having in one-on-one chats and conversations with people and businesses and business owners to be able to give them direction and advice on what they need to do or what could help them improve their business success. I think that's always been my passion project. It's always on my list every year to do, and I've been doing it for almost 20 years now. And I'll continue to do it, but I'll be definitely leveraging modern technology to be able to access and reach more people. Times have changed, so you don't have to do one-on-one offices. You can make mass communication so everyone has this information, because I think it's very important for us to have.
Sure. Can you tell us a little bit about YM International?
Yes, YM Worldwide. I actually started YM Worldwide almost by accident. While I was in college, almost graduating, I used to get a lot of requests for people to help them, whether it was homework assignments or people who were trying to start a business idea. It was very interesting that people always came to me with financial issues to help resolve. Even before I graduated, I didn't even have a degree at the time, but I think people had already identified that I was very comfortable around financial issues and business strategies. So that just started by accident in college, and it evolved into a full-blown financial accounting consultant that does a lot of pro bono work. And most people don't know that most of the work I do is for free. And that's because information that's needed to boost your business and grow your business may not come in the form of a fee-based consultant. And I'm being very technical for a reason. It may come from just a 5-minute phone call, a 5-minute consultation. Maybe you have a very burning issue and you're so confused or lost as a business owner because you know how to bake bread, but you don't know how to run through numbers. And I think that journey for me to transition from a college questionnaire person to this business that could actually help people on an ongoing basis and scaling that has been very impressive. So that's the goal. On a weekly basis, I have free consultations with a lot of business owners, a lot of individuals who have either financial strategy issues, tax issues that they just need help on. And sometimes it's a 5-minute phone call and it changes their life. I get so satisfied when I get a message or email just being thankful. And people tell me I've changed their life just by 10 minutes of my time. It's so fulfilling. I can't even express it to you. And just being able to also do it for free is the biggest attribute that I believe is satisfying for me, where I could help and know there'll be impact that may outlive me. And that's what YM Worldwide was set out to do, is to be able to create a mechanism to service people, and knowing that the impact of their success and their businesses improves their family and longevity over time. The message continues to pass down from generation to generation. That's the satisfying moment for me, at least through YM Worldwide. I'm able to do this, a lot of pro bono work that most people would do in a non-for-profit.
That's so inspiring, Yinka. Thank you so much for sharing. Uh, we have another question for you, and that is what advice would you give to high school students who are interested in pursuing this path, either entrepreneurship or the role in which you serve in the county? And also, do you or does your office offer any internship opportunities for our high school students?
So I'll answer the question in reverse. I'll start with the last question. Yes, we do offer internships. We're excited and always excited to provide the opportunity for young high school students or college students to come to our office, learn, be part of the process, give us ideas also. People think internship is about you just learning from the organization, but we need your ideas too. Maybe there's things that we're not seeing, maybe there's things that we don't know that the interns help us with. So we always have ongoing year long, not just summer, year long internship opportunity in our office. And the first part of the question was the advice I would give to people who want to pursue this career. The first thing I'll say is school is important. And school is where you start the basics of discipline. And to pursue any career, whether it's mine or being a doctor or lawyer or even being a professional athlete, discipline comes in play. And I think the advice I'll give anyone is to cultivate discipline in the path that they want to go. And in my career, I think it's important to know that you should definitely complete your school, complete high school, go to college, and you can get a degree in accounting or finance. The most fulfilling part of my journey when people are taking this path is, I would say, always pursue a professional license like a CPA license, a certified public accountant license, just to distinguish yourself from the other people in the industry. It would help a lot as you go down your career road. It'll also help you earn a lot more income than a non-licensed professional. So my advice would be dedication to your craft, learning, pursuing the path, and also the professional license. I think those are the short advice. I could speak for an hour on advice because there's bumps and bruises along the way, but I think when you're dedicated and you have the discipline, you continue to move along the process very quickly.
Okay, thank you so much. Anything else, Inka, that you would like to share with the students? I know we have a couple minutes left. Any other words of wisdom?
Well, I would always say it's important for everyone to participate in government. It may seem like a far cry or distant objective, but like we just said, most people could come downtown to the meetings and speak to the commissioners. It's a public meeting. And I like what you said earlier, Molly. Everyone should go home today and find out who their county commissioner is. I think it would be easy for you to go on the website. There's a place on the county website and says, find my commissioner. You put your home address and tells you who your commissioner is. And that person is your elected representative. So whatever you need, the person is there to help you. We have been blessed with an incredible group of county commissioners, plural, who've had this very good connection with the community. And so the most important things for us as citizens to do is continue to give feedback, continue to speak on issues, continue to help them understand the issues, because they need our help just as much as we need their help. And so I think that's the takeaway, the key takeaway at least. Number one, go online, find out who your county commissioner is, participate in county government, and obviously be a good citizen. That's my closing statement.
I love that. And I was thinking too, when you were mentioning the commissioners, that, each community is different and has different needs. So the needs in Homestead are not exactly maybe the same needs as Sunny Isles Beach or as North
Absolutely.
Miami, right? We have a beautiful, diverse set of communities in Miami-Dade County, and we have students who have joined us this morning from those various communities. So it's important for them to understand. And as well, you have your local municipalities and elected officials who you can reach out to. So there's always ways to get involved, for youth to get involved. And thank you so much for sharing that. And we really thank you for your time and all of your wisdom and your leadership. This has been awesome. Thank you to all the teachers and students who joined us today. And we look forward to seeing you at our next Career Speaker Series event. information will be forthcoming. So it is 8:29. I don't know if Adam, Vanessa, and Akita have anything else you'd like to add before we say goodbye.
Yes, just quickly, teachers, I want to once again thank you for joining us on today. We will be sending you a link to the recording of this. We would love for you to share this with the rest of your classes throughout the day. You will also receive a follow-up activity that the students can complete as well. Thank you once again for joining us on this first Career Speaker Series, and we look forward to many, many more. Yinka, you were amazing. Thank you so much for giving up your time, pouring into the students of the next generation. Who knows? We might the next YM worldwide leader listening to this call who's looking to start their next business. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you for your
Thank you for
time, your
having me.
talent, and your effort.